Myanmar continues the central government. And that is one of the crux of the problem, because the ethnicities have not accepted what the Myanmar framework today. Having said that, one has to understand the Rohingya issue. Now, question to me is, well, it's not a government version of what I'm saying. I'm saying from academic point of view, because I've been reading, writing, a long time on Rohingya issue. I have a small little book on Rohingya in of course, Bangla, with some history. What are we facing? We are facing almost annihilation of a sub-nation. I will not talk in nation, but sub-nation. If you see the makeup of the ethnic group in Myanmar, you will find the Rohingyas are 3.5 total. And in Bangladesh, we have almost 1.5 by now. And rest of the thing, the Karens are less, the Chins are less. Those Chins are divided in part of India. So like 2017, the Rohingya issue was much before 2017 for Bangladesh. It started actually, the flux of the refugees came in 1978, which was resolved somehow or other. And then of course 1992 was a big chunk we came. They have been tortured always. I don't consider them to be whether religious mix-up. I consider them to be a sub-nation of a country where they have been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. So first, the Rohingya issue has to be seen out of the box of religion. That's very, very important. We cannot give a religious color, because that is the crux where the Myanmar, particularly Burmas and others, are trying to put that color. And we, the Bangladesh government, considers it to be a human problem. It's a humanitarian problem. We cannot allow, as a very active nation of United Nations and the international community, we cannot allow a sub-national distinct like that. We cannot accept that. Therefore, that is our moral duty as a responsible country, because we are very active part of United Nations. We are very active part of all of the international community. We are maintaining in peace in many of the countries under UN. Therefore, we need a solution, a very peaceful solution through international community. It is 8 years, unfortunately, and these 8 years, at least we have not seen the international community active that much, not even UN. So therefore, when we consider the humanitarian issue, that humanitarian issue has to be seen as international issue. And I remember that the chief of this interim government has talked about this, and he did hope that people may go back next year. I don't know whether that hope will come true or not. We are trying to get into ASEAN. We are trying to convince ASEAN, because there are a lot of Rohingyas in ASEAN countries as well, particularly in Malaysia and other places. Therefore, it has to be a collective effort. Besides, as I said once again, the color of religion, it has to be a collective effort. And I'm sorry to say that there's no collective effort from South Asia. South Asia is facing a huge geopolitical shift and changes. And that is more, to me, that's a prime issue that I'm seeing for a country like Bangladesh. We may be squeezed in that geopolitical turmoil that is happening. 3 countries were particularly involved in the whole of the gamut, what's happening in Myanmar. It's not only Rakhine state, it's the state of Karen, it's the state of Kachin, it's Chin, so many others. So once I believe that our effort has been diplomatic, not military solution. I believe the military cannot resolve this kind of crisis. then probably we would not have seen so long, or for 70 odd years, the crisis of Palestine could have been resolved militarily. Therefore, it has to be combination of diplomacy, combination of international help, and of course, the backing by the military. But I am no way, as Mr. Farhad Madar said, I'm no way saying that there has to be a military solution. Military never resolved any crisis. Military can hold the crisis for some time to be resolved by the diplomats. And I'm sure our diplomats are working day and night, but we need international community understanding and help, not to keep this problem alive, but to settle this problem. And this problem with international help can be settled, but without international help, it cannot be settled. It cannot be continued as a humanitarian refugees and humanitarian succor, that to give money and they should remain here for long, for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We have seen the fate of our brother in Palestine. We have seen the fate of many others, refugees. Unless you settle, this will increase one after another, one place to another place. We can't, as we are a very poor country, we can't afford to keep 1.5 now, if I'm not wrong, or 1.23, and increasing every year, I think 30 to 40,000 new faces. Therefore, the government of Bangladesh is determined these are the people who have to go back to their own motherland. And these are the people who have the right to be there, like any other ethnic people there in Myanmar. And we don't want that the Rohingya should get into a conflict and then they make their life miserable. But as the international community sitting here, United Nations and others, my appeal would be, as a part of this government, very fervent appeal, solve this problem either amicably or whatever, but under international flag. We don't want to solve it bilaterally. That's not our aim, not our issue. Therefore, we must work out very robust diplomatic and very robust international roadmap to resolve this problem. It cannot prolong. It cannot prolong. We have seen the prolonging such refugee issue, what problems it can create. I don't want to refer what's happening in the Middle East. May not be like that, but there could be some bit of problem here. And that I see within 5 years, we'll see if the issue is not resolved, this might become an international arena of power struggle.